We've been telling you it's an ABC 13 weather watch kind of day or morning, Elita.
Yeah, mainly during the morning, Reed. I think the brunt of this rain and thunderstorm activity will slowly start to fizzle out by mid-morning. So continue to tune in. Of course, we'll let you know also on social media for those of you that are going to be headed out the door and you may be away from your phone, but still dealing with some heavy rain. It looks like a lot of the thunder, the lightning that was with us over the past couple of hours has really shifted or not started to die down, especially along our coastal communities. But still, some of the thunderstorms over Brazoria County, these are going to be heavy rain-making thunderstorms, some soaking storms. It's going to add to the flood risk there, already under a flood advisory until about 7:45 this morning, so it will be ongoing. You can see how heavy the rain is in those shades of oranges and reds, and it's making it very hard to get out on the roads. If you can, hold off on getting on the roads this morning, especially for those of you that might be living around Freeport and Lake Jackson. That's where some spots have already picked up anywhere between 1 to 3 inches. And because of those thunderstorms not moving very quickly away from your area, still raining fairly heavily, you'll probably pick up an additional 2, 3, maybe even 4 inches before those thunderstorms finally start to weaken, or at least the rain starts to move away. Moderate to heavy rain still falling around Calhoun, Matagorda County, and now starting to see this large shield of rain. It's shifted from that shade of green, more yellows and red. So that's definitely going to make for some visibility issues for those of you that are planning on headed outbound this morning toward the hill country. Things are fairly light, just a nice gentle rain right now falling from Brenham up toward College Station. No thunder or lightning. Navasota getting in on some rain, as well as our friends up in Madisonville. So here's a look at Future Track. And so far, Future Track has been picking up on what's on the radar right now. So based on that, it is expected to show most of the thunderstorms moving out late morning into the early part of the afternoon. So by 3, 4 o'clock or so, things should be fairly dry, maybe even a break in the clouds will allow for some sunshine, but we're not done yet. It looks like we'll be monitoring another round of those showers and thunderstorms overnight. How much rain could we see? Many spots have already picked up anywhere between 2 to 4 inches. I think we've got multiple chances here to pick up an additional 1 to 3 inches each and every day. So that would set the stage for most areas, picking up 4 to 8 inches with isolated amounts of over 10 inches possible. And you can see that the storm chances for the holiday weekend is trending higher, meaning that more areas are going to get in on some more rain. And these rains, unfortunately, look to come heavy at times, and that's going to increase our chance of seeing not just some street flooding, but also the potential for some flash flooding. And it's not just here across southeast Texas. A lot of this heavy rain is going to be stretching into portions of Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi. So for those of you that might be driving or traveling this weekend, plan on seeing some unsettled weather as well, some active weather all along the Gulf. Here's a look at the flood risk for tomorrow. The conditions will be more favorable, especially because our grounds are already saturated for seeing runoff happening sooner, street flooding, maybe even some rapid rises in some of our watersheds and some of our rivers, and the flood risk is going to continue into the weekend. If you missed it the last half hour, I showed that our flood risk for Saturday and Sunday is not a level 1, it's actually a level 2 out of 4. So the ingredients are going to be favorable for those flooding concerns to resume over the weekend. All right, we're at 67 degrees, rain cooled. The one advantage of getting all of this rain, it's keeping those temperature readings down this morning. Low 70s in Galveston. We've got that nice breeze coming in out of the northeast. We've got a 10 to 15 mile per hour wind, but there are indications that they could gust this afternoon, 20 to 25, 30 miles per hour, even without any sort of thunderstorms in our area. Running about 10 to 15 degrees cooler compared to yesterday, so many of us feels nice out there. 66 in Navasota, 67 in Humble. By this afternoon, temperature readings somewhere in the upper 70s to low 80s. So that is noticeably cooler than what's normal for this time of year. Now our high temperature is normally at 88. We're going to get a nice reprieve from that because we are starting off so wet and we are getting that wind shift out of the north and east. But here comes multiple rounds of showers and storms thanks to this area of low pressure that's going to be kind of cut off from the jet stream, and it's going to continue to pull in Pacific moisture at the surface. We've got that Gulf moisture coming in. So if this model verifies, by midnight tonight, we're going to be tracking another large storm complex out here towards San Antonio, and the movement of this is due east. So by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, morning, it's going to be just along I-35 out toward the hill country. And on this track, it could be moving into the Houston area around that 8 or even 9 o'clock hour. So by 8 a.m., it's kind of by the Brazos River, and then by 9, 10, 11 o'clock or so, that line of showers and thunderstorms may be moving into Houston, setting the stage at least for a very nasty afternoon commute, at least the early part of the afternoon, and then the majority of that heavy rain and thunderstorms should be winding down between 2, 3, 4 o'clock or so. Now, there could be some redevelopment here north of Interstate 10 during the evening hours, but it looks like the majority of southeast Texas should be trending drier. I'm hopeful that that model verifies, so it gives any sort of afternoon or evening activities a possibility to, to happen. I know many of you have ceremonies, you've got plans, you've got afternoon festivities heading into the weekend, and it's still too soon to tell whether or not the morning hours are going to be the stormiest or if it's the afternoon or evening. So I encourage you to continue to tune in with us as we try to, give you the latest on this very tricky forecast. Obviously, this time of year, we get these disturbances, and it can be very hard to determine whether or not those disturbances are actually going to verify, ladies.
All right, thank you so much, Elita. We appreciate